Hello and welcome to another episode of Two Takes Later. This is episode 4 and my name is Neil and I'm here with my friend Joel.
Yep, and this is the first episode where you get to see us on camera as well.
Shock horror, isn't it? Anyway.
I never thought I'd see the day.
Okay, so Joel's going to be leading us for the first 10 minutes with with some new ideas that he's got for his upcoming project. So have it away.
So, for starters, it's a psychological crime thriller.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about how this podcaster is investigating his friend's death.
Mm-hmm.
And he invites a retired detective to help him with the case.
Oh, okay.
Not knowing that the detective's involved in the murder.
Ooh, interesting.
I can't really go into too much more details without spoiling the main plot.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
However, any questions like that I can reveal, I will answer questions because obviously I'm trying to avoid saying too much of the plot without questions for it.
Yeah.
Sorry, is the audience allowed to ask questions?
Audience allowed to ask questions. So.
Yeah, they are. Ayo, actually, on that topic, this is our first episode to have a live audience.
So let's get mic 2 up and people can actually ask questions now.
So go on.
Right, what's your question, player? I'm wondering, is it an obvious answer or is it quite deep? Like, do you have to think about who actually did it?
It's kind of reverse psychology, to be fair.
Uh-huh.
Reverse psychology, fair enough.
Yeah.
Did you say retired police officer or retarded?
Retired.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he said retired.
But yeah. This is why we don't normally have a live audience in here, to be honest. But
Doesn't matter. Okay, so
yeah.
Getting back on topic, so how do you expect to film this? So what's the cinematography side-wise?
Cinematography side-wise, we're thinking of distorting the light slightly in this room, and also we're going to be using DJI Osmo and a Canon XA60.
Oh, interesting.
And the voicing, we might actually do half of it by recording through this broadcaster machine.
Oh, nice.
As well, so the audio would be quite good as well. And heck, we've even got a clapperboard here, which is perfect for us.
Yeah.
Take one.
Okay, so how are you planning to edit this then?
I'm going to be using a range of different edit platforms, e.g. Adobe Premiere Pro 2025, maybe 2026 if I'm lucky enough to get it. DaVinci Resolve, maybe bits on CapCut, but I don't really like CapCut as much anymore. And whatever else I can find, really. You know.
So if you had to pick, would you rather just use Adobe or DaVinci?
I prefer Adobe, to be fair.
Okay, how come?
I'm used to it, and it also is a lot easier for me to just turn on and get the clips ready.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is the first bit of it anyway, and I'm thinking perhaps maybe background noise would be like static sound from the computer behind us because it's got nice speakers as well. And we'll see what comes from it, I guess.
And also, is this a episodic series or is this just a short film?
This is a short film that could become a feature film if I get enough time to film it all.
Okay.
So, because I've got ideas that could make it into a feature film. But first I want to see if the short film would be enough on its own, because sometimes short films do better than feature films because of, obviously, time-wise, and also, let's be honest, a feature film's very stressful to make.
Yeah.
I don't know many people who make feature films currently who are at our current level and have succeeded. Even veterans seem to prefer short films because they can tell a more tight story in a condensed time frame, which I prefer, to be fair.
Yeah.
Plus the script writing would have to be perfect for a feature film.
Yeah, talking about the script, so what software are you using to write?
I'm going to be using writersdirect.com.
Oh yeah, that's better than Celtex, to be fair.
Yeah. And you've now used it yourself.
Yeah,
so
because with Writers Direct you get 3 projects free. Celtex you only have one and has a watermark.
And also you can also just delete the Writers Direct stuff after you've used it, and you can copy it onto like Word documents. So really, it's unlimited amount of script writing.
Yeah.
You just have to change the title each time, which, let's be honest, you'll do
it's
anyway.
not too much of a hassle.
Yeah. Plus, it's kind of fun to use anyway, let's be honest.
Yeah. So I'm aware that you have a lot of other projects in mind. So is this new thing sort of related to them, or?
It's sort of related to them because it's kind of testing to see if I'm ready to actually do a TV series yet or not.
Yeah, I'm talking about continuity wise. Like, do they share like a timeline or something?
They really do. So the other short films that I'm thinking of working on, all are actually going to be somewhat related to this final one. So, for instance, there's going to be one just about a podcaster who slowly loses his mind whilst editing his final podcast for his series.
Yeah.
Which I feel like could be very interesting, and it's only got one actor that would have. So, that'd be interesting. Then the second one starts adding in a bit of like the crime and stuff. Third one is when we start seeing how I've been developing all the ideas together into one final idea. And then, well, obviously, I can't tell you the other two yet because that's going to reveal the main plot line, which I don't want to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've given you mild spoilers there, and that's already 6 minutes.
Yeah. Is that all, or do you have a little bit more?
I can tell a bit more, but I need prompts to see, because I don't want to say them all.
Yeah.
Loud
or should we just leave it here and come back to it in a future episode for more?
Leave it here, and we can come back to it for a future episode. However, I do feel like we should perhaps talk about something else as well, because this is the shortest one we've ever done, if not.
Yeah. So, do you remember what we spoke about last episode?
Oh yeah, we were talking a lot about film and series.
Yeah, specifically analysing a certain one. Yeah. So, do you want to continue from that? Do you remember where we left off at?
We left off at the 4th Harry Potter film, but we finished the 3rd one. So.
Yeah.
Right. Harry Potter...
Goblet of Fire sucks.
And the Goblet of Fire.
That's my honest opinion. It sucked. Directing-wise, I don't think it was a really good film. Acting-wise, it was.
I'd say the director stayed the same from the 3rd one. However, he just didn't have the right crew, and also not the same amount of time he did for the 3rd one.
Yeah.
I disagree.
Oh, yeah?
I think Goblet of Fire is one of the best.
Fair enough. I was talking, like, overall, I think it's a good film. However, I think there's, like, a lot of issues in the film adaptation.
What do you think an issue is?
I know, like, it doesn't adapt everything from the books, mainly. I think Dobby appeared in the books.
Yeah, Dobby appeared in the books, and that was one of the best parts about it. And also,
But do you not think it doesn't have to match the books to be good?
Depends, because sometimes the original novel lacks in areas. However, when it comes to books that are longer than the films, pretty much, when it comes to audiobooks and stuff, you can't really just go out and say that the films are doing better.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Because...
I think it's cool how they brought in the Quidditch, like the massive stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the good things they did about it.
When they went into the tent and it was...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the cool shows a bit more.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing of the film which I actually think has aged really well, and I think is probably the best part of the film: the visual effects. Do you remember the scene in the final task when Voldemort gets a new body? Yeah, I think that's probably some of the best visual effects in the entire Harry Potter franchise.
And it's very smart editing as well. You can't lie. Like, the editing. What?
Oh, that's a topic for another day.
Yeah, that would be one which I don't think we'd be comfortable doing on this sort of series where we get random people watching anyway. You know?
Yeah. Well, what would you give the plot out of 10?
Plot wise for the film, 6 out of 10. Unfortunately, it's not the best of a lot.
I'll give it a solid 6.5.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
So like, I remember like one of my mates, when he watched the film, he came up to me, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, "Have you seen Goblet of Fire?" I was like, "Yeah, I've seen it like 10 times at this point." Why? He said, "Is it just me, or why does Harry look like Frodo Baggins in this film?"
That's great.
And I was like, "Wait, what? What do you mean it looks like Frodo?" He's like, "Rewatch the film, mate. You take a look." And now that I've watched both of them, I'm like, "Yeah, he does look like Frodo in certain shots."
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's the first time it gets properly dark.
Yeah.
That's the 3rd film which we talked about in our last episode. Yeah, Prison of Azkaban.
True. Yeah, but I feel like there isn't a death in Prison of Azkaban, is there?
No.
Not that I can remember.
Obviously Cedric Diggory
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Cedric's probably like the first major death. It was executed.
Yeah.
The whole thing was executed well, though. The third act of the film was amazing. Best part of the film by a mile.
The only bit I actually hate is the ending.
Yeah.
Acting when Cedric died.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, I agree.
And Harry as well.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they get back to the room and they find out about the teachers in the chest thing.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
pretty stupid. That was stupid.
Uh-huh. I feel like this is now going to be... So should we talk about the fifth one, which is a lot better, in my opinion, for
I didn't like the fifth one either.
For the acting wise near the end.
Oh,
You know
was
what I
that
mean?
is that the one in which what happened to Sirius?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was probably. I don't even
And
think that was acting.
It was not acting.
Phoenix, one of the best ones.
Yeah, it's
Order
considered.
of the Phoenix is considered one of the best ones.
Yeah,
However,
But it's apparently one of the worst books.
yeah, the book was bad in my opinion. Hot take, I know, but the book was bad.
even though it was the longest book in the entire series,
The main thing I don't understand: the Order of the Phoenix is a longer book than the Deathly Hallows. So why did they split the Deathly Hallows into two and not the Order of the Phoenix?
good question. And
All right,
uh,
that's just him leaving the studio there. Don't worry about that.
this happens quite a lot. And yeah, that's both our live audience members leaving the studio.
The time is up. All right, so as we were saying,
So whilst Order of the Phoenix had its good points with the acting style, it also had some of the worst acting I've ever seen as well.
yeah,
For instance, Umbridge may have been a good, actor. The actor for Umbridge may have been good at times.
yeah,
However, when Harry was, having to fake his pain when he was writing the lines for Umbridge in the detention.
what the I must not tell lies
Yeah.
thing. Oh,
How bad the acting looked when he was in pain there
no,
compared to
that was
later
horrible.
on. Like,
The acting was horrible.
yeah, that one scene just brought down the film from what would have been a solid 8 out of 10.
To around a 6, to a 5 to a 6.
Yeah. And that's really disappointing for something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Because, to be honest, without that scene being in there, if they deleted that and maybe shown one of the deleted scenes that they could have kept in,
Yeah.
it would have been better.
Again, I think the thing that mainly
Yeah.
which seems to be a running gag with most, if not all. Well, probably no, I can't say that because there's one film which I think the ending. Well, two films which the ending was bad. They have solid third acts when things start to get good, and I think Order of the Phoenix has one of the best third acts in the franchise.
Yeah, the truth for why Daniel Radcliffe actually cried so much on that one.
Yeah, I think it's like his nan died during production.
That's true. That's been confirmed by, I don't even know how many news sources anymore.
Yeah. But wow, I remember the first, I was just like stunned into silence when I saw that one.
And how they muted his scream so you could tell that it was completely real because they would never mute a fake scream.
Yeah.
Unless it was really good acting.
Yeah.
Oh.
Overall, I'll give Order of the Phoenix a 6 out of 10. Yeah, solid 6. Great ideas, but flawed execution.
I'd say it had its moments, but it had chances.
It had its highs, but it also had its lows. And I think in this case, the lows slightly outweighed the highs.
However, it still got higher than a 5 out of 10, meaning it still did a good job. But
okay, so that's Order of the Phoenix out of the way.
now
we get to talk about the Half-Blood Prince, a.k.a. my least favourite Harry Potter film in the entire franchise. I'm sorry. I cannot defend this film. I think it's an absolute festering pile of... no, I can't say that. Festering heap of garbage.
You could have sworn because, remember, we do not make these episodes available for kids for that reason.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but this film was a festering pile of garbage.
Yeah.
I don't like this. I didn't like the story.
Yeah.
I didn't like the acting in certain times, especially Rupert Grint's Ron. I don't blame Rupert Grint. I blame the writing because I think the writing for Ron is the worst for the main characters.
Yeah, and I'd also say the plot twist of Ron actually trying to get Lavender jealous should have been Hermione jealous with Lavender.
Yeah,
should have been kept in the film because in the books that was one of the key things that was hinted at so heavily, and no one seemed to really realize it
Yeah.
until the 7th. And in the films, they just made it seem like one actually, liked Lavender the entire time. Which
the one thing that I'll say was sort of good about the film was probably the whole Dumbledore sub story.
Yeah. It was a shame how they.
I think it was executed. I think with Dumbledore, the way he was written out was executed well.
Yeah, I'd say the only downside was how the music wasn't quite there. Really, they could have added more, sad music and
stuff. Yeah, and I think some of the writing is kind of cringe when you look at it. When he's like, "I am the Half-Blood Prince." Like what?
Come on, at least
you could have made it a little. You could have made it. The direction could have been a little more sinister than that.
Because
again, I'm not blaming the late Alan Rickman. May he rest in peace.
Because
he
was one of the best actors I've ever heard of.
Yeah,
and watched like.
Okay, if I had to rank if I had to rank the Half-Blood Prince. I'm gonna put aside my bias towards this film, because if I had like my bias to the fact that I don't really like Harry Potter, then this one would have a 1 out of 10. But it's nowhere near that level, so I'm gonna give it a 3. A 3 out of 10. Visually, it's great. The visuals are great. I like how the colors are more faded. In this one, it's like show it's dark. But the plot wasn't good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The acting was mixed at times. I think Daniel Radcliffe as Harry was still solid.
Yeah, that's because he just had years and years of experience.
Yeah. But Ralph Fiennes as Voldemort always steals the show, though.
Yeah, nothing beats Voldemort.
The music was okay. It wasn't there at times.
I'd say it was worse than the first film with music.
Yeah.
And that says something, because the first film is where they started, so they should have gone better each film.
Yeah.
But they kind of got worse, in my opinion.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my review on the Half-Blood Prince. What would you give it?
For cinematography-wise, a solid 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Music-wise, 2 out of 10.
Yeah, I
Acting
agree.
style, 5 out of 10, because some of them are good, some of them are bad. That's expected. Script-wise, 1 out of 10.
Yeah.
Instantly. Director style, 4 out of 10. It kind of makes sense, seeing as it was another director again. But yeah. And so overall, I'd say 5 out of 10 for me. And that's coming from a Harry Potter fan.
Yeah.
So
next, okay, what's off? Is it
Deathly Hallows
Part
1?
Part 1.
Ooh, right. Here we go.
From what I said earlier, I still think that splitting the Deathly Hallows into 2, but not the Order of the Phoenix, was a pretty stupid move. They could have pulled an Order of the Phoenix and condensed the Deathly Hallows into one film.
And it probably would have actually looked better cinematically as well, to be fair.
But if I had to pick, the Deathly Hallows Part 1, I think, is worse than Part 2.
Yeah, 100%.
100% worse than Part. Because for me, when I watched when I did the marathon, like all of the films, I didn't remember anything from Part 1 until apart from the very end.
Yeah,
it feels like the vast majority of the Deathly Hallows is just filler.
That's correct. Over half of it, they're just literally going on a camping trip, pretty much.
Yeah. And also, again, Ron is written like a prick.
And also, without being rude to the actress Bonnie Wright, you know, who plays Ginny.
Yeah.
How they portrayed her.
Yeah.
In the,
Yeah, that's also one of my main issues with the writing.
Like,
why does Harry have so much chemistry with every other female character in the show, in the film series, apart from Ginny?
And in the books, Ginny is this most confident character I've ever seen. However, in the films, complete opposite.
Complete opposite.
Like,
that's the one thing I don't like. Why change a character?
Oh, and it's not just Ginny that's had that issue.
I know
as well.
Hermione has some writing issues as well, doesn't she?
Ron had it worse.
No, Ron definitely had it worse.
Because
Harry's, for the most part, is intact,
Yep.
but I remember in the books he's way more sarcastic.
Mhm.
I really wish they kept that. He talks back to teachers in the books, and way more sarcastic,
Yeah.
makes very rude jokes. I really wish they kept that.
because that would have actually been more accurate to what teens are like constantly.
Yeah.
Every generation of teens I've ever seen.
Okay, so without being too biased, I'm going to go into my mini review of Deathly Hallows Part 1. I think the cinematography, it was really good. From the second one up, the cinematography started getting better and better with each film. And this one, so far, is the creme de la creme. Is that big. Is that good. The story, it's better than Half-Blood Prince. By far is better than Half-Blood Prince. But it's also very forgettable. Very, very forgettable. CGI was amazing. That's a hands down 10 out of 10. CGI is incredible. Acting, definitely a step up from Half-Blood Prince. The acting was pretty good. And the music was also a little bit of a step up as well.
Well, that's kind of expected because they're getting to the finale and they want the music to be better.
And the emotional stakes. Wow, I'm not even gonna talk about what happens because I'm pretty sure everyone watching knows. I'm not even gonna bring it up.
Also, we can't do that in case anyone who hasn't watched it, because we do not need to put another spoiler warning at the very start of this episode.
Indeed. So overall, Deathly Hallows Part 1, I'll be generous and give it a 7 out of 10. It's a good film compared to the rest of them. It's a good film, but very forgettable. Yeah.
Right, now time for my review of Deathly Hallows Part 1.
Go on,
and
bring it.
I'm going to be very harsh with this one because Deathly Hallows Part 1 is my least favourite ever.
Okay.
Mostly because why put the wedding at the start? I know that's what J.K. Rowling did and it's mainly part of the plot.
Yeah.
However, they could have easily done more with, you know the deleted scene where Dudley Dursley actually kind of says to Harry, "You're not a waste of space."
Why did they cut that?
Why cut that of all scenes? That was one of the best scenes, and also cutting Petunia's line with, talking about Lily. Once again, one of the best scenes in the film.
Yeah, it shows character development at least.
Yes, and character development is what was needed to wrap up their story.
I don't know, the Dursley story, now I'm thinking about it, it really isn't good.
Yeah.
They rushed the Dursley side so much. They poured so much into the magical part of it. The Dursley side of it was
they made the Dursleys look worse than they actually were in the books. And that says something because in the books the descriptions aren't nice.
Yeah. So what would you give the story out of 10 then?
Story out of 10 for Deathly Hallows Part 1?
Yeah.
3 out of 10.
3, I agree.
Right, and cinematography.
Yeah.
Almost Oppenheimer level.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I agree.
10 out of 10 immediately.
I agree.
Music, 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
Better than the last one. I'd say for, camera work alone, for how they did the camera work. 7 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
CGI, 10 out of 10 easily.
10 out of, easily.
And unfortunately, I'd say for, logistics on lighting and stuff, 2 or 3 out of 10 because when you watch it on DVD and stuff like that, you can barely see anything if it's light outside and you've got a window and you've got your curtains open.
Yeah. So what would you give it overall out of 10?
Visually, and also emotionally and for the acting, 4 out of 10.
Overall, 4 out of 10. That's your final review.
That's my final review.
Okay. So now we're going to be wrapping up this very, very soon, and now
Deathly Hallows Part 2.
To start this final endgame section of this episode, we will be talking about Deathly Hallows Part 2 because I believe there's actually one of the stronger Harry Potter films in the series.
Well,
because there's lots to talk. There's lots to talk about in this one.
Oh, we're going to be here for quite a while.
Yeah. First of all, why is the full Battle of Hogwarts, both at the beginning of the film and at the end of the film, the best parts of the entire thing. They could have pulled the Lord of the Rings and have the whole thing and have the battle start at the beginning, at the end of the Deathly Hallows Part 1.
And then people would have paid so
It could
much
have
money
ended
to
at
watch.
if the battle started in Deathly Hallows Part 1, ending on a cliffhanger, I think it would have had a big thing because the Lord of the Rings, it balances like showing wars and the others and what the other characters are doing away from it.
Mm-hmm.
They could have magpied that idea and done the same thing, but I'm not complaining because the Deathly Hallows Part 2 is a step up from Part 1 in every way, in cinematography, in story, in acting, in CGI, in everything.
Yeah.
Everything apart from one segment, which you know what, I'm just gonna get this thing out of the way first. I know for a fact J.K. Rowling regretted the 19 years later thing, but
well,
I mean, I'm not gonna drop the rating for that, but I think they made the 19 years later thing as best as they possibly could. So
considering what they had to base it off, so
so I'm not gonna grade it lower for that. So 19 years later, I just skip. Like I said in the previous episodes, I just skip it because the final shot before the 19 years later series part would have been the perfect way to end it.
It's literally a final battle with the Golden Trio.
You
can't beat that.
Okay, so now we need to talk about the who's revealed to be one of the true MVPs all along of this series, Severus Snape.
Oh,
my word! I remember when I first saw this film, I used to hate Snape up until part 2 when you actually take a look at his backstory.
Yeah,
my word!
And what a plot twist it was
To learn that he was a good guy all along.
Yep. And we do not care about spoilers anymore. You've been watching long enough to know that we spoil things.
But Snape's final line, though, my word! I actually cried. I'm not afraid to admit that I cried.
It definitely deserved a few tears.
Yeah.
But honestly, here we go. My very analytical review.
Go on then.
So, cinematography. Perhaps the best I've seen since Oppenheimer itself.
Agreed.
Literally. And I barely watched Oppenheimer because it's too long, in my opinion.
Yeah, I saw Oppenheimer in the cinema.
Yeah.
Masterpiece, but I ended up getting a headache by the end of it.
Yeah. Well, kind of expected. Cinemas are loud.
Yeah.
Anyway, as I was saying, cinematography was masterpiece. One thing I'd change for the cinematography is some of the camera angles.
I agree.
A few more menacing shots of Voldemort, low angle.
Yeah.
Would have been perfect for it. I know most people wouldn't think of that, but from a want-to-be director's point of view, not having those menacing shots like that,
it doesn't really make Voldemort seem as evil as he's meant to be.
Yes, and it also kind of makes Harry seem more powerful because there's more where they're looking up at him instead. Sure, by the end of the film, obviously, Voldemort dies, but come on, they could have made it more interesting with the final fight as well, where instead of, it being in the middle of nowhere, in the center of the hall, which is what it was in the books, I believe. I can't remember fully, but
I believe so.
Yeah. It was in the center of the hall and everyone was watching and they froze their fights, which was a lot more better.
Yeah, I think if everyone just stopped and watched Harry and Voldemort have their long-awaited battle,
that would have been perfect because then you'd have seen all of the actors there that would deserve to be there.
I genuinely think the plot in this one is a far better thing. I'm giving the plot an 8 out of 10 because I can remember everything from the plot still. Visual effects, I mean, I'm not even going to say anything about that. That's just a 10 out of 10.
It's gone beyond a 10 out of 10 to 11 out of 10.
Beyond, yeah. And acting and writing, 10 out of 10.
For once, it's all getting a 10 out of 10, I think. So. The one downside, some of the music still.
And I think the runtime.
The runtime,
because they could have shortened some scenes and cut, and some scenes were pointless as well.
Then again, I feel like if they had a longer runtime, with all of the deleted scenes,
then it would have been a great experience
been
anyways.
The best experience ever.
And then my highlights of the film, funnily enough, doesn't feature anyone from the main cast.
Mm-hmm.
I think you might know which one it is.
Neville.
When he gets the sword of Gryffindor.
Yeah.
That's my favourite
Yeah.
scene from the film.
And the acting. Oh, the acting of Neville.
I know.
Mm.
So overall, what would I give the Deathly Hallows Part 2? Well, in this case, I would give a... I'm going to be gracious. I'm giving it an 8.5. That's the highest since Prisoner of Azkaban, which I gave a straight 10. I gave Prisoner of Azkaban a straight 10. This is the second highest at 8.5.
For me, overall, this film literally embodied everything I wanted it to be. 9.5 out of 10.
9.5?
Yes.
Whoa. Okay.
And that's because it's also a series wrap, so once again, it could be to do with me liking Harry Potter to a certain amount.
Yeah, my only criticisms was the music and the 19 Years Later series, but then the 19 Years Later thing, that's a story for another day. And with that...
I feel like this episode's been going on long enough, and
so if I had to rate the whole series out of 100, I would easily give it a 70. 70 overall. I think that nostalgia blinds so many people, and when they actually go and rewatch it, they're like, hold on, is this better than I thought? Or than I remember? Or is it worse? I think overall, the films are still good.
Yep.
But some are not as good as you once thought it would be, if you know what I mean. I'm not trying to clown it. I'm not trying to clown it, but yeah.
Out of 100 for me, as someone who's been a Harry Potter fan for years, I used to give it a 90 out of 100, but after rewatching and doing this entire series analysis review, I'm giving it only an 80 out of 100.
Yeah, that's still high. It's still high.
It's still high, but it's not as high as it used to be.
Okay.
And that's a very harsh criticism for me as someone who likes Harry Potter.
Okay, so I just want to give a brief rundown as to how the next episodes will go, because I'm not going to tell you what's going to happen next episode because B, what I'm thinking is having 2 different styles per episode. So one episode is videoed, the other one is how the first episode went.
Yeah.
You know, like audio based.
Yeah, so you'd get an audio and video based production every week.
Yeah, I think that would work.
And I feel like you guys would like a few more of the future episodes, but we do not know what the next episode will be yet.
Yeah. Okay. That's our time. Thank you ever so much for tuning in. This has been 2 Takes Later. We'll see you in episode 5, shall we?
Let's see how episode 5 goes.
Yeah.
And high five.
Bye.
Bye.